thankfully, that didn't take long. Yeah, honestly, I had forgotten when the Hearts of Steel Bumblebee and Megatron was going to release, and just a couple weeks after I get Optimus and Starscream, here they are. Ordered them on Hasbro Pulse, ordered it along with my Darkseid Anakin, the Vintage Collection 3-pack. And yeah, this is really cool. Same super awesome box as the Optimus and Starscream set. Absolutely love this. If these are the only two 2-packs we get, I will be disappointed. I want to see more Hearts of Steel, but I'm just happy that Hearts of Steel has happened to any extent. Like, this is awesome. I love Hearts of Steel. I love the Optimus. The Starscream is pretty great too. And I'm very curious to see how these two are going to stack up. So it has the same style of slipcover package, looking very, very nice. You can see same kind of very industrial look to this box. Very, very neat. And then opening it up, we get to see Bumblebee and Megatron. The Bumblebee, I'm seeing some gold paint that looks absolutely fantastic. And I'm not going to lie, a Megatron in darker colors, it always speaks to me. I am waiting for like a leader class IDW Stealth Bomber Megatron. I need a really nice toy of that design. But hey, we're getting these right now. We're getting Hearts of Steel, and I'm very hyped for these. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and get these out of the box, get some time with them, play with these a little bit, because this is a set I'm very excited for. I don't want to wing these. I want to present these just showing you how awesome they are. Alrighty, I'll be right back. Well, I got these guys out of the box, I transformed them, and I gotta say, I'm in love. I love these Hearts of Steel figures. Even my more least favorite ones, I still really enjoy. Now, I definitely do have a favorite among these two, just like how I preferred Optimus over Starscream. I'm gonna wait, though. I'm gonna wait to say which one I like more. You'll probably be able to tell, though, as I talk about them. But yeah, we got Bumblebee, turns into a tiny little train, and then we've got Megatron that turns into like an old-school two-wheeled massive cannon. And yeah, both of these are just so cool. We're going to go ahead, though, and start with Bumblebee, because Bumblebee is the good guy, and we talk about the good guys, I guess. I love the detail on Bee. The head sculpt is great. It has the same kind of energy as the Optimus Prime head sculpt. It's just so nice. So Industrial Revolution. I love how the yellow's kind of more of like that goldish color, kind of like how we saw with Transformers 1 Bumblebee toys. The shoulder pads look fantastic. They're those, you know, train halves that look very, very great. He's got a couple little weapons, and they actually, interestingly, don't really integrate into the train mode. We've got this little pistol right here that looks pretty cool. I kind of like it. Almost seems like it has a, I don't know if that's like a gas cap or something on the top, but that's cool. And then we have a hammer. Yeah, if you're ever wondering where the whole concept of Bumblebee having a battle hammer comes from, it's pretty much Hearts of Steel. That's what really made it, you know, recognizable as a weapon for Bumblebee. And yeah, this figure just looks great. Look at all the paint on the torso. He actually still has that golden highlighting that all of them seem to have. It's kind of like a nice element of design symmetry. Every single character has a little bit of gold, and I really enjoy that. Down on the legs, it's got a really nice little bit of silver detail in there. He's got sculpted in gears that are painted silver. It looks fantastic. He has the wheels of the train on the legs, and it looks really nice. Love the look of the feet. Some really nice gunmetal paint right there. Overall, he is just absolutely detailed through and through. Looks fantastic. He is about deluxe size, as all of these are. And yeah, he looks so good. For articulation, Bee has a nice little wiggle-waggle ball joint at his head. Moves side to side, pretty much does what you need it to do. His shoulders are on ball joints as well. They are also on hinges, but that's mostly just for transformation. He's got nice ball joints. He has a bicep swivel, nice elbow bend, and I count this as articulation. He has a hinge down. It's mostly for transformation, but it does really work for certain poses with both of the weapons, actually. I think it's a very nice bit of articulation right there. He does have a waist rotation, and then his hips are on nice, tight universal joints. He has a thigh swivel. His knee bend is really tight for some reason, but he does get a good amount of knee bend in there. But do keep in mind it is on the same pin as like this wheel part, so as you bend the knee, it might, you know, bring that up. So keep that in mind as you're posing him. And then at the ankles, he has a hinge down and kind of up, but mostly just down. And you get some tilt side to side as well. So yeah, Pretty cool Bumblebee. Definitely digging this one, and he looks great alongside Optimus. Yeah, this is an awesome duo of train boys. I love this so much. They look so great together. And with B out of the way, let's go ahead and talk about Megatron. Megatron's detailing is also super cool. I love this very dark gunmetal, almost black color that he is. I personally really like when Megatron is a color other than silver. I think it's just a really nice change of pace. He has these massive wheels on his shoulders, and there's tons of paint on these for the silver spikes. Looks really great. He's got silver spikes on his shoulders as well. Really beautiful Decepticon badge right there in the middle. I love the head sculpt on this guy. That's a really great Megatron head sculpt. The arms, not really any paint on the arms, but there's some nice plastic color separation. He does have a little bit of that Megatron red peeking through right there on the waist, so that's nice. Again, there is the gold. Each one of these has a little bit of gold. And on Megatron, it's on his fusion cannon, I guess. Is it still a fusion cannon? Then on the legs, again, no real paint. He's got a little bit on his thighs there. But a lot of it's just, sculpted detail. And there's a lot. There's a lot of little rivets, lots of little wheels. And I guess, these are little sub-cannons that are, like, like the cannon that Indiana Jones, stuffed a rock into and it blew up. I guess it's one of those kind of cannons. I guess this guy turns into a pretty big two-wheeled cannon. I don't know. Yeah, he's pretty nice and solid, pretty robust. I really like the feel of him, especially these wheels. They really just add a big feel to this guy. Now, you can hinge these if you want him to just, dice up his own head. But they're kind of intended to just be on his shoulders at a bit of an angle. And Megs' articulation is also really nice. So he also has a wiggle-waggle ball joint at the head. I really love how much it looks up. It looks up really nice. You can detach it if you want, but I wouldn't do that. His shoulders are a little complicated to work with these big old spinny things, but it still works nice. They are on hinges right there. Then his shoulders are on universals, and you can move them up pretty much all the way. Forward, thigh swivel. I always call biceps thighs. I'm not going to cut that out because it's a problem. We need to address it. His elbows, for transformation, he has double jointed elbows, which is really nice. And he has nothing at the wrists. It's just how it works for transformation. He has a waist swivel. His hips are very nice universals, and they pretty much move all of the ways you want them to. That is the thigh, and it swivels. His knee bend is fantastic, pretty much bends in all the way, mostly for transformation. He's got a downward hinge at the foot, not really anything up, but he does have a little bit of ankle tilt, just a little bit, not a ton. So yeah, overall, his articulation is fantastic. You can also move the fusion cannon off to the side as well, if you want. If you prefer that look, I really appreciate the option. I think it's mostly for transformation, but still, you can have it off to the side if you want. And here he is with his minion Starscream. And yeah, you can see that they look fantastic together. I love the size difference, and I just love the aesthetic. They both just look so evil. I love it. And here's all four of them together. Kind of difficult to get them all in shot because they're very wide figures. They're very wide. Megatron is the tallest by just a hair over Optimus. Then you got Optimus, then Starscream, then Bumblebee. I really like the scaling here. I would have preferred if it was more like Voyager-ish. But honestly, with them being kind of, deluxe and slightly larger deluxe, or in the case of B, slightly smaller deluxe, I'm okay with the scaling here. I think this is a really great collection. I would love to see it continue. If it doesn't, I'm happy we got the four biggest name Transformers characters here. If this is where it ends, I'm satisfied, but I really want more. All right, these are Transformers, so let's get them all transformed. Now, Bumblebee's transformation, I'm not going to lie, kind of difficult. I would say he's got the most difficult transformation out of all of them, just because so much is going on in such a small space, and you really need to make sure all of the space is used and used properly. Easier said than done. So the first thing I'm going to do is actually fold the arms in just like this to just get them in position. Just get the arms where they need to be, flip in those hands. The arms need to be in position. You can rotate them straight like this as well. So arms are in position. All right, we got the arms in position. Let's go ahead and next up, I guess we will tab all the leg stuff together and get the feet folded down. Yeah, let's get the feet folded down, all the leg stuff together. Boom, perfect. And then next up, we need to hinge this down, I believe, and then hinge the legs. All right, we're making progress. Have these things all spread out, I guess. And this is the biggest, most complex move. We're going to take this whole, like, arm shoulder assembly and hinge it forward. It all hinges forward. It's very, very difficult. There's just so much going on at the same time. We do want the arms to make sure they're facing this way, actually. But yeah, it's just such a big move all at once. But it goes around his waist. All of that just tabs in. And it'll tab in right up front. Boom, perfect. And then this is where spacing needs to be absolutely perfect. We can go ahead and get these bars kind of attached to the leg bars. Kind of just get that done too. All right, I really struggled with this. You need just enough space for the head to be able to push in and go in and tab in. I did not have enough space because I didn't have the arms all the way in. If they're just a little too far pushed in, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. But then we will get the arms up. Then our last step is getting these really tight wheels. It's so tight. I'm worried I'm going to break it. Get those swiveled over and tabbed into those little circles on the arms. And then getting everything re-tabbed in, all straightened up. Looks like the cab came undone. All right, there we go. There's our tiny little Bumblebee train. Oh my gosh, I love him so much. Go ahead and get the weapons in there. The hammer will just go in here, and I really appreciate how he still has weapon storage, especially since he is the only one here that does not have actual like integration of the weapons into the vehicle mode. So yeah, I love this train mode a lot. It is very, very cute. I love how it says B on the side. It doesn't really have too much like new detailing, surprisingly. All of it's pretty much, you know, visible in the robot mode, except maybe like this little gold here. And he's got this nice gunmetal back here. He's got a lot of nice paint. He is a very, very nice figure. I'm pretty happy with this one. Honestly, I'd love to see if there's like a track these guys would fit on. I don't think I'm going to transform the Optimus in this video because I don't have all day. But I wonder if they're like the same width. Like my model train people, do these fit on an actual model train track? I'm curious. Probably not. But if they do, that would be an insane attention to detail on Hasbro's part. All right, time to transform Megatron. And if you haven't caught on already, Megatron's the one I prefer. I love the size, I love the color, and I especially really enjoy the transformation and the alt mode. Especially since you don't have to take the fusion cannon off. You can actually leave it on for the transformation, and that is really, really cool. All right, so the first thing we're going to do, let's go ahead and take care of the legs first. So I believe we're going to rotate the waist, flip the feet in, and then the legs just kind of collapse, and they will kind of tab into the front there and then tab in together. And then boom, there's the legs. The legs are done. Congrats, good job. Now he's like a little pod, and he's like rocking in fetal position. Anyways, go ahead and take the head and flip it in, and then flip that back down, and boom, now the head is gone. He has no head anymore. Next up, the arms. We want to flip the side panel out, flip the hand in. Then he's got these really cool little, like, I guess, mini little guns on his arm. And if you want, you could actually, like, have these out in the robot mode as just, like, a weird little, like, micro weapon. That'd actually be neat. We will rotate the arm, and then we want to make sure we're using that double hinge to its full effectiveness to basically tab in the arm to the back of the shoulder. That is what we are aiming to do here. But we want to make sure it's kind of done in a way that's sort of out of the way of some other stuff. Make sure it's lined up. It's kind of hard to line up with that double hinge. There we go. I think I got it. And then bring it back around. And then we will tab this top gray wheel bit into the top right up there. Bada bing, bada boom. And then it's pretty much the same on the other side, except we have the cannon. You know, the cannon is also there, just existing. And then, actually, we don't fold that back. There we go. I was forgetting what to do. And then get the arm lined up with that right there. Come on. Come on. I'm definitely finding it easier to do the whole arm thing in the front. And then you bring it back. And then kind of get it all lined up, tabbed in. Bada bing, bada boom. There you go. Here is Megatron in his cool, old school, 2-wheel tank mode. Still curious on the scaling of this thing. It almost seems like a kind of cannon where like somebody would just like sit back here and shoot off. But with those little cannons right there and those little cannons right there, it makes me curious. Like, is this way bigger than it's, you know, kind of looking? I don't know. It can sort of roll, but with like all the spikes, it's not really going to roll too well. Yeah, it's a pretty cool cannon mode. I would say it gets a little lazy back here, but it still gets the job done. It's still pretty cool. No real new details exposed in the cannon mode. It's pretty neat. I genuinely enjoy it. So there we go, guys. There's my look at the second Hearts of Steel 2-pack Bumblebee and Megatron. I love it so much. Just like the Optimus and Starscream set, these are really awesome figures. Figures I never really expected Hasbro to make, but here they are. They exist, and I love them. They're fantastic. I definitely very highly recommend these. The Megatron and the Optimus are the winners for me, but the Bumblebee and Starscream are still very good, but I don't think they're going to end up on like top 10 Transformers of 2025. Optimus and Megatron, though, there's definitely a chance they're going to end up on that list. If they do, I'll probably just group them together because they're kind of in the same vein, same line, same deal. Alrighty, guys, let me know what you think about these Hearts of Steel figures down in the comments below. I'm in love with them. I'm so hyped for these releases. I'm so happy they happened. I really hope we get more. Thank you again for watching. Special shout out to channel members as always. Thank you all so much for the continued support. Have a great one, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.